Hi guys, this video is about editing your show videos. This is one of several videos that I'm going to put in regards to this subject. This video is going to be going over the DaVinci Resolve media page. If you haven't watched the overview video, I would suggest watching it. It's going to go over some basic navigation and descriptions that I might go over kind of quickly when I go over this video. DaVinci Resolve is such a powerful program. Trying to put everything in one video was just way too long, so I decided to cut it down into several smaller ones. If your project does not use a lot of video files and other media, you probably don't need all the bells and whistles that the media page has to offer. Just load them and go. But this video might give you a few tricks and tips that you might find useful even for smaller projects. So let's get going. So the areas I'm going to cover. I'm going to go over the interface, some basic navigation and how to get around and what the different sections of the media page are. Going to go over the media storage, which is basically just a link to your hard drive. Going to go over the master bin. This is where you put all of the videos, audio files, and any other media that you're going to use in your project. Going to discuss briefly pre-editing clips. It's a useful tool that can help you when you're editing your video when you get into the actual editing of your program. Going to go over metadata. It's a file attached to the media that can help you search and find the media more quickly. And smart bins, which is a neat tool to even further refine your searches to find the media that you want for your video. So let's go over the interface. So this is the DaVinci Resolve interface. Up on top is your main menu items, and each of these has items that pertain to what you have selected. There's a lot of options in here, way more than you and I probably will ever use. Then they have what I like calling the pop-up menus, which are these little options over along the secondary bar here. And you've got these little in windows that you can toggle on and off. So here's your waveform. You can turn the audio waveform on and off. Metadata down here, which we'll discuss in a little bit. Right now there's nothing to inspect because we haven't selected anything, but now we do. You can turn that off. Then you have the inspector window capture. Those you don't use hardly at all in the media window, but it's available. But it's something that you can turn on and off. If you want to get more real estate to look, you can turn everything off to get more room. But we're going to keep it at the default. So right click is your friend. There are so many additional menu items that are available by right clicking that gets you more quickly to what you probably want to do with that. And it's filtered just by what you need. So that's a real good option. So right click is your friend to find a lot of additional menu items. This is the preview window. The preview window is so you could preview things, and it basically has two modes. It's got a scrubbing mode, which when you put your mouse over any item, then you can actually scrub and move left and right, and it will preview it. Or it's got the view mode, which you have to have a clip loaded into the window first to view it. And to load it, you just double click. So if we want this one here, we'll double click that. And now it's loaded in there. And we can play it by using the play controls here. This has a fine tune scrubbing to get you a little bit closer. It's a little more delicate in the control. And you also have keyboard keys that you could use, the J, K, and L. J is going to be reverse, K is stop, L is forward. And the J and L keys are going to keep going faster and faster. So if I hit the L key, it's going to play. If I hit it again, you see that it's playing twice the speed. Again, it's 4 times. And the same thing goes for the J key in reverse. You can zoom in and out of the screen here to see what you want. If there's something in particular you want to see with the scroll wheel, you can zoom in and out. Hold that center key and you can move it around to what you want. Maybe you want to see up close on him. If you want to get back to where it fills up the window here, you can hit the Z key on your keyboard. And you can also navigate to the sizes by this window up here. And you see the fit has the Z identifying as a shortcut. These windows are sizable. You can click these windows and size them to fit how you want. And that's up to you how you want it to show. Okay, let's go over the media storage. The media storage is this section here, and that's basically a hard drive, file browser to your hard drive. In order to edit videos in DaVinci Resolve, you have to tell it what you want to edit. So you'll find them on your media storage and then load them into your master bin. Your master bin is what holds all the files that you want to use for this particular video. So you'll navigate to where you want, to the files that you want. In DaVinci Resolve, you can create a shortcut that's basically will take you quickly to the area that you want. So I have my videos, I have a shortcut here. You see it's still part of my hard drive and it's on here. And you can also, with this, you can do the scrubbing like you did on the other ones and load it and play just like you did on the other screen. And that's pretty much it on the media storage. It's pretty simple. It's basically just a view of your hard drive. Now let's go on to the master bin. This lower section here is your master bin. When you start a project, this is going to be totally blank, nothing in it, because this should only contain the videos that you want to use for this particular video. You can create folders. As you see, I got a folder here and some folders down here. And you can also, by expanding this disclosure icon, it'll show all the folders. Now this shows the folders that I've already done, and you have to do this for every video. When you add media to the master bin, it isn't creating a copy of it. It's just creating a link saying this is what you want to use. You don't want this to show your entire hard drive. It'd get very confusing. And you might even have clips that are from different areas of your hard drive, and to navigate through it would be very difficult. So they made it pretty easy to put it in here. And just by creating a link to it, it doesn't add a lot of additional hard drive space or use up a lot of additional hard drive space. Once you have it in your master bin, you could add additional annotations and editing and things like that. And it doesn't alter the original clip. It just puts in some additional information. Like you see on this one here, there's these two white lines. That shows a pre-edit points that were marked. And also too, down here, you see this little red cursor. That shows that in this timeline, that section of the clip was used. And over here, you see that there's some orange indicators. You can mark clips with colors, and here's a pink one. You can mark clips with colors if it's something that you want to use for sorting your clips. It's an option that you have. So in regards to pre-editing a clip, if you happen to be in a clip and you see a section that you want to use and quickly find that pre-edit, we'll load it in, and it's loaded in the viewer. And say we want to just mark a certain point. So we're going to find here, let's look here, this. Okay, here's the beginning of this clip. And we could mark an in and out by using the buttons here, mark in or out, or you can do it on your keyboard with the I and the O. We'll do it with the up here. So we're going to mark the in point. And you can see that this gets a little bit bolder, and now we have a line. Then we want to mark the out point of this and find it. It's going to be a little bit farther. So let's find the end of that video. And that's the end of the video. And I'm going to use the O key to mark the out point. Now you can see that that small section's been marked, and it indicates here. And when you go on to the editing, if you get to the other editing video that I have, I'll show you how that works. But for now, just let you know that that's a way that you could quickly enter just that portion of this clip into your final video. And there's a bunch of graphical indicators on these clips. As you notice down here, there's a music icon here. That means that there's audio attached to it. These clips up here don't have audio. They were shot with a drone. And there's not much sense in recording just rotor blades flopping. So, and then there's a bunch of other icons that'll be available as you get into more advanced. And that pretty much covers the master bin. Let's go over the metadata. The metadata, like I mentioned before, is this section over here. Now, by default, I believe it comes up with clip details, which there isn't a whole lot of information, which you would think that details would be a very complete listing, which it's not. It's just a very brief detail, and this is pretty much what your camera will add to it, and that's attached normally to the clip, but you can put additional information. But as you can see right now, this was shot. This is the name of the video. It gives you what it was recorded at, the size, and the resolution. See here, this one shot at H.264, 23.976 frames per second, the size. But there's not a whole lot of information in here. If you go over here, this is your sort window. If you see all groups, it's huge. It has a ton of information, but you probably really only need shot and scene. This is going to be the most useful for you. And with the shot and scene, you can put keywords in here, and the keyword could be anything that you like. You put it in here. If you see right now, this one says front because this video is the front view. If it was a side view, like this is the left side, you see that it says left. And you can have more than one keyword if you want to do it. And you can add the clip colors if you want from this point. So you can add keywords to help you sort and filter things a little bit easier down the road. And I'll show you when we get towards the end how that'll really be a benefit. So that's pretty much keywords in, metadata. So let's go over the smart bins. Smart bins is this section over here. And the smart bins is really a way to do a finer filtering, and it uses the keywords. Anytime you add a keyword in here, it will add it to the smart bin. You don't have to come over and add it. It'll automatically add it. Well, you say, I don't see it in there. Well, if you expand the keywords, when you click on the keywords, it's going to show you all the clips that have a keyword attached to it. So for example, we look at this one, it says front. This one here says right. And that one says Kermit Sink. So all those were keywords that I manually added. And if you expand it, it shows you all of those basic categories that you added. And that'll help you if you have a lot of convoluted clips like I do here. Another neat thing is you can add keywords to a clip just by dragging it over into the keyword bin. Like say, for example, that I have the Kermit trees. Obviously, you see that those are trees. But if I go to my trees bin, the Kermit trees isn't in there. Let's go back to Kermit Sink. We got the Kermit trees here. Let's drag it over to the trees. Well, doesn't look like it did anything. But if I go back to the trees, that Kermit trees is there now. Click on the Kermit trees. You'll see that it's got the keyword Kermit Sink and tree. So it could be in more than one location. And that really helps for sorting things out. And you can also create some manual smart bins that will leverage a lot more of the metadata that you have over here. But that's far beyond what I'm going to go into in this video. Now, one thing you got to pay attention to is this up here is going to tell you if you're in the master bin or the smart bin. And that could become a little problematic down the road if you're not paying attention to that. So let's put it all together. For my light show, I shoot from 4 different camera angles. From the front, the left, the right, and then a close-up of my singing trees. And how I do it, I don't have 4 cameras, so I'll just start each one. So I'll start the camera and just play it nonstop through my playlist. Now, because the cameras I use, I don't have 4 cameras, so I have to do it over and over. But the cameras that I use have a buffering issue, so they'll cut the clips into several smaller ones. As you see here, these were all just a continuous shot, but it shot it into different clips. So it creates a whole bunch of clips basically for one recording, and then with the 4 different angles, that's why this gets a little convoluted. And that is convoluted. And so I like to try and organize it a little bit. So what I'll do is in the master bin, I will create folders for left, right, trees. So let's clean up what I have first to kind of show you how this works. So let's go to the keywords. So I'm going to go to front, and all these have front, and I want to put it in my master bin for front. But I don't have the bin for front. So we just add it. So we're going to go new bin, call it front. But because I clicked that, now I'm back in my master bin to the main part. That's why I said you got to kind of pay attention where you are here. So I'll click on the front. I'll select all of these clips and I'll move it over into the front. Now you look, it didn't think that anything happened, but what it did is it switched over. It's still in the front bin, so that's why it didn't look. But if I go over into my, oops, if I go in the front, now they're there. It was empty before. And if we go back to our master bin, you probably can't tell, but it looks a little bit smaller because we moved a bunch of stuff from this main window into the front. So let's go to the left. We'll highlight all of these, and that's the left smart bin. And we're going to drag all these over. Well, before I do that, let's see what's in the left. If you look, there's nothing in the left master bin. Remember, the smart bin is just a way to filter it and look at it. It's not changing location. It's just a filter. But in the master, there's nothing in the left. So we're going to pull up left. And I probably should have named these different because they're the same. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might get confusing for you. I know what it is, but maybe I should have changed this smart bin left or something. But I'm here, so let's move on. So here's the left. I'm going to take and highlight all of these. I could use Control A if I want. And in the master bin, I want to put it in the left master bin. Like I said, it didn't look like anything, but we're in the left master bin. That's right. But we'll go in the left, in the left smart bin. If we go into the left master bin, they're all there. Okay, trees. We'll do the trees. We'll highlight all of these and we'll put it in the trees master bin. And I think we did most of it. Let's go back and see. Well, what is this? Oh, the clip details. So if the clip details doesn't show what you want, you can go in here and change the grouping. Shot and scene is what we want. Okay, so this one doesn't have a keyword on it. That's front, 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 front. Let's clean those up. So let's select everything that's a front. That's a front. That's a front. That's a front. That's the right side. That's the right side. Okay, so let's go over here. We're going to call this front. And it pops up showing that we already used that word. So we do that just to make sure that we spell it correctly. Okay, so if we take all of these and we drag them over into the front master bin, and we go back to the master bin, you'll see that they're not here anymore. Now this one here, this is right. Okay, let's go over the right here. We got, did you see we're getting down to nothing over here? So let's go to the right. Let's drag all these over into the right master bin. And what do we got here? That's a tree, 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 tree. Okay, so all these are trees. They didn't have identified. We're going to add those in, make that trees. And like I said, help fill it in, save it. And we've already got these highlighted. So we could just now, instead of going back and sorting by, let's just drag these over into the trees, or we could drag it over in this section. Let's do it this way, do it a little bit different. We'll drag it into the trees folder. Now all we have left is the audio file, so I'll hit Control and select all the audio. And we'll put those into the audio file, which is over here. Now that's our master bin, and that's a lot cleaner. So you can find what you want. You want front, left, right, however you want. You can find it a lot easier. Now, normally I would, when I bring them in, I'll have it cleaned up so I don't have to deal with this. And this has a lot of other folders. Normally I'd only have the front, left, right, trees, and audio, but I'm using this project for several different videos. So there's a lot more in here than what I normally would have. So now that I have it cleaned up, what I would normally do to make it a little easier for the video is when I import them is I would go ahead and fix them the way that I want it. So let's go over our videos and let's see here. Let's see, we got our right. I'm going to bring over some right videos and I'm going to do Control A to select them all and then go over to bring them in. Nothing happens. That's because this is a smart bin. We're in the smart bin view. Smart bins are filtered, but it has to be in the media to be able to add the metadata. When it's here in your hard drive, it's only got the metadata from the camera. It doesn't have the additional one to add. So you have to add that metadata first. So let's go into the master and we'll bring it into the master bin. And now it's there. And because I knew that because when I bring the camera in, I'll put it into the folder on my hard drive because I knew what side it was. So I'll just put it right. And then the left camera, when I import it into the computer, I'll do left. So now I can just select the first, hold down Shift and the last, and they're all selected. Go in here and I'll go ahead and put the metadata. And we'll do right. We'll save it. And all those have the data, the metadata for the right saved, and I could go ahead and put it in the right bin. Not meaning correct, but right as in right camera. So now I have all of this, and it makes it a lot easier. If I want to just import left, I've got the left, the right, the trees, and if you have additional ones, there might be one, like I said, there might be something that's got a sync that I've used. So you have additional ones. So that pretty much puts it all together in a nice organized format to help you out. But like I said, if you're only using just a few video clips and other media, the media page might not be that beneficial to know all of these different tips and tricks. You just bring it in, 4 or 5 videos down in this clip window and then move on to the edit page. And in my other video, when I go over the cut and edit page, you'll see how that comes together. But this is just kind of an idea of how this could possibly work to help you out. So I hope this video was helpful. I'll have another video for the meat and potatoes of video editing covering the cut and edit pages in DaVinci Resolve. Then I'll also have another video dedicated on how to create your videos when you're using several camera angles, which could be beneficial. It's got some neat tools in there. I've got links below to channels of some of the more knowledgeable people when it comes to DaVinci Resolve that they get into the far more technical aspect. I don't get into that because to be honest, I don't use a whole lot of it. So I'm not that familiar with it. But if there's specialized things that you need, like special graphics and transitions, they'd be the go-to source to get to it. So if my videos have been helpful, please like and subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos as I create them. And it'd be a benefit for me to know that you guys enjoy what I'm putting together. So I hope you guys have a great day. Hope your shows come out great. Have a good day. Thanks.